First video in this series showed how to take a floor plan or take some lines and start to make those into 3D objects. But what if we just wanted to start out with 3D objects and make a massing out of that? Say, for instance, our entire floors or different programmatic elements. Let's take the site here, the site boundaries. And I know this is still in the C-plane, so if I draw a box, I can sort of just guess at that. I don't need to start with that rectangular element. I can take this and copy it. And again, just as I did the floor plans, I can shift rotate it, and I can move it around the site. I can copy it, make two of them, and maybe that's one iteration. I copy that over. And again, you start to see this idea is iterating downwards. I could start with something completely different as well, like a smaller box that takes up the entire floor. So I'll give this 12 feet, and maybe I'll copy that. Let's do that 3 times. So now I can start to push and pull at these things with like the gumball, if that's how I wanted to do my massing, and create a very easy, create a concept very easily. I could then start over. Maybe I want to keep this piece, but I want to start with something a little bit different. Copy that up. Maybe I just want to do one item, or I want to keep that all flush, so let's move face here. And then I have sort of this tiered structure on one side. Take this whole thing and start to do other booleans with it. So let's just make a box, and say I want to make a courtyard. I could draw on the bottom, on the ground, or I could set my C-plane to the top. So that's under C-plane, set it to the object or set it to the surface, and make sure we're drawing on that top surface, setting our x-axis, and now you can see that we're drawing on the top there. Now if I draw a box, the rectangle is going to be starting in that plane, and I'll just draw it down to the bottom. And now I'll use something like a Boolean difference, subtract from all of these surfaces, and then select that middle surface, and we can delete that middle one. And then I have a courtyard scheme. It's the same sort of general massing, but it's approached differently. Or I can copy that again. I can scale this up. And now we use another Boolean difference. And I want to subtract from these guys with this item. And now I have sort of a C shape versus an O or a courtyard scheme like this, right? So they all start with that original idea, and it all start with just drawing boxes. That's probably the easiest place to start, is to just draw sort of generalized things, abstractions of your idea, and see where you can go by building complexity. Maybe you combine 2 of these, right? And then maybe you take the idea of the courtyard and you just sort of draw a box in there. And let's find it, scale it up a bit, subtract from these surfaces this one, whoops, let's do that again. And now I have a version where I've taken 2 massings, and then the idea that I really liked about this courtyard. It can start to get a little bit messy, but then you can start to select the ones you really like, isolate them, or what's really nice is moving them or copying them back to the site and studying how they relate to their context. Again, you could do this all on the site directly if that's if that's how you prefer, and then just copy or move it away, or you can manage your layers fairly well. The next tutorial is going to show you how I would start with some programmatic elements and build iterations based on maybe first starting with a lobby, and then a hallway, and then an office, and building a mass from there.